gonna die and go to hell and God hates you and all these other things. Hi you guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Lil Ruben, and if you're new here, what's the gaga? Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you click the bell notification so you'll be notified for the next time I post my videos. Okay, so today I decided to do my coming out story, which was highly requested by some of my friends, and I just thought that like maybe it was time to like actually tell my coming out story. This might get like really emotional, so I would advise you to have a little tissue or some popcorn because it's gonna be really long, but it's my truth and it might offend some people, but it's just how I felt at the moment. It has nothing to do with anyone else outside opinions, but this has to do with like how I felt. And I feel like this is gonna be really, really hard for me because I don't know how to express myself without getting emotional. So I feel like I'm gonna be a little emotional, so bear with me. So let me just start off by saying, like, I've always known that I was gay, like, my whole entire life. Like, I just knew it. I used to want to be a girl, like, my whole entire life. Like, as a child, I just knew for a fact that I was a girl and that I was in the wrong body, and I just felt like I was a mistake. My mom is very religious, like, my whole entire family is, and I was always in the church. We were always taught in church, like, that, you know, homosexuality is a sin and that you're gonna die and go to hell and God hates you and all these other things. And I think it took like a toll on my life because a young person going to church, hearing this every day, every sermon, and I'm just hearing that like the person that creates me hates me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the person that created me hates me. And for some reason, it just like bothered me every day. Like, I would hate myself every day because it was like I didn't know how to not feel this way about guys, and I didn't know how to like accept the fact that someone that made me hating me. It's very hard to take that in as a child, being preached this over and over again, that someone that created you hates you. I just need you to get that in your head. But I always like guys. Like, I was always attracted to guys, and like when I would look at girls, I would be like, oh, I wish I was her, like, type of stuff. It was never like, oh, she's so beautiful, I just want to be with her. Like, it was never like that ever in my whole entire life. But I never really acted upon who I was until I think it was like high school. That's when I started talking to boys. So when people would ask me, oh, are you gay? And I'll be like, no, because like at that time, I didn't want it to be that case. So I would just say, no, I'm not gay. Like, this is just who I am. And I would always tell people, I don't like boys or girls. Like, that's what my excuse would be. I don't like boys or girls. When I was young, I would have like so many people that I would consider my friends or like that I would hang out with or whatever the case may be, and I would still feel like I was alone. Like, I would just feel like I was never wanted, and it was a hard feeling to grasp, especially being like very out there. Like, I was always outspoken, I was always outgoing. I would always want to be better than people because it was a mechanism that like, oh, even if I were gay, like, I'm still better than you. You know what I mean? I would play football with the boys and be the best one on the team. Like, I did karate, I did track, I did gymnastics, but I learned everything on my own just to do it, just so I can say that, okay, well, I have this over you even though I'm gay. You know what I mean? And then it came to a point where I was kind of tired of hiding. And this is where, like, my mom came into the story. At first, it was me learning to love myself as who I am and not pretending to be someone else or not, like, not being who I am. It wasn't like I was pretending to be anything because I couldn't act straight if I tried or like, act masculine if I tried. And after I realized that this is what I am and who I am, and that's after, I guess, after I started talking to the first boy that I was talking to, I decided that like, it was time to tell my mom. And let me tell you a little bit about me and my mom's relationship. So me and my mom are inseparable. Like, we're the exact same person. Like, I'm just a young version of her. Like, I act exactly like my mom. I think exactly like my mom. Like, it's crazy how me and my mom's relationship was. And it was on a Saturday, and my mom was taking me somewhere. I don't remember. And we were alone, and I was in the car with her, and I just, I just decided to tell her. Like, it was just very spontaneous because I'm the kind of person where I don't talk about my feelings. Like, I would never express my feelings or tell anybody how I feel because I don't like rejection. Like, I don't like being told no. I don't like being disowned. I don't like stuff like that. Like, I don't like conflict. And conflict is a part of life, and I'm learning how to deal with it. But, like, that's who I was at that time. Like, I just couldn't think of the fact that her rejecting me. And, so I just go and I'm just like, hey mom, I need to tell you something. And like I said, it was random, so it could have been about anything. And she was just like, oh, okay, well, go tell me or whatever. And I was like, oh, I think I'm bisexual. And I feel like I had to tell her bisexual because it was just like, I feel like having a bisexual child will be way easier to handle than having a gay child or just like a homosexual child, because like, you know, having a bisexual child, they still have like a choice of whether they want to be with a guy or a girl. And like, I feel like a parent would feel like, oh well, they'll grow out of it, you know what I mean, like something like that. And which that was never my case. I never saw girls that way. And I don't know, like, I don't think what she said was rejecting me, but it wasn't what I wanted to hear. Like, it wasn't what I wanted to hear. So she told me, she was just like, are you sure? Like, that's the first question she asked. And I said, I don't know. I think so. And then she was like, what makes you think that you are? And I don't remember what I told her, but I said something. And then she was just like, oh, I forgot exactly what she said, but it was basically like something like, maybe maybe you're just experimenting. And it was something on that terms. It's not exactly what she said. And I don't know, like, it just wasn't what I wanted to hear. And like I said, I'm the kind of person that if I tell you something that's like really personal to me or that like means a lot to me, I have already thought of all the possible responses that you'll say. And I always go for the good one, because for me to be bold enough to tell you how I feel like, and this is just a mindset of mine, I feel like that you're going to tell me something positive, which is not always the case, but that's what I expected. I just expected her to say, oh, okay, well, I already knew, like, and I mean, of course, she already knew, but it just felt different. Like, it didn't feel like what I wanted to hear. I just didn't know how to handle that. Like, it bothered me so much that, like, I just told you the biggest secret of my life, and all you had to say was, like, I don't know. And maybe I'm just making a big deal of it, but I don't know. It just really, it bothered me for, like, it bothered me for a long time. And, like, I'm the kind of person where, like, if I'm mad about something and if I'm hurt about something, I'm not gonna, like, take it out on the person that I'm hurt with. So, like, anytime I would get upset about something else, I would always just lash out on the person that I care most about. And I felt like that's what kind of, like broke the, like, bond of me and my mom. Like, our relationship is perfectly fine now, but, like, at that time, it was just, like, I was just going through a lot, just being hurt by guys and, you know, like, just being hurt in general, like, and then I was battling myself to be perfect. Like, that's what I always wanted to be. I just wanted to be perfect, and I would just be in church every day, like, and then hear that, like, being gay was a sin. And it was, like, once I came out, the sermons got worse, because it was just, like, they knew that I came out, and it would always be, like, you're gay, like, you're going to hell, repent, don't like guys, don't be yourself. Don't be who you are. Be someone else. Try to get married, try to have a family. And it was like, I'm not gonna allow you to force me to do something I don't want to do. And that's not who I am. Like, I don't care if the whole world is saying that color is blue. If I see gray, I'm gonna tell you I see gray. And I'm gonna stick to seeing gray until I see blue on my own. Like, I'm not gonna let you force me to do anything. And that was what my mom was kind of doing. Like, it was like she was trying to force religion on me. I understand why she was doing it, because my mom is Christian based. So at that time, she was just like, I don't want my child to go to hell. Like, you know what I mean? That's how I see it. Like, I would never think my mom would do anything to deliberately hurt me, because she's been the only person that's been there my whole entire life. And she would like kind of like, I guess, kind of talk to the pastor. And what my mom did that hurt me the most was, I guess, she talked to the pastor about my homosexuality or whatever the case may be. And like one day, all of a sudden, the pastor came to me and he was just like, oh, I need to talk to you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm very intelligent. I'm not dumb by a long shot. And when we talked, he was just like, hey, I just want you, because I was into drawing at that time. And he asked me to draw him a picture of what I wanted to be in my future. Like, I guess he was trying to open it up to me. And I was just like, okay, whatever. So me being the intelligent person that I was, I drew a picture of me and a wife and kids, knowing damn well that's not what I'm gonna do. Knowing, like, I knew how to play these mind tricks. It was very random. I could tell that he was asking if I was gay without asking if I was gay. So the next day when I drew the picture, I came to him and he told me to explain the picture, and I was just like, hey, this is me, my wife and kids. I want twin daughters, and I want to be, I want to be famous, like, basically. And he was like, oh, well, I'm glad you said this. And I'm like, glad I said what? And he was like, you want a wife and kids? And I was like, yeah. Playing with his emotions, because I knew what I wanted. And if I would have said I wanted a man, I just knew, like, it was going to be prayer after prayer. And then I still got prayer. Like, he prayed and he cried and he said, what he said to me was, I feel like I failed you. I knew that you were different in that kind of way, and I didn't say anything to protect your feelings. And I was just like, okay. And like, when I get hurt, I get very nonchalant. So I'm just like, I'm just waiting on this to be over. And it went on for like about an hour and a half. Like, him praying. He was like, can I pray with you? And I'm like, why? In my head, I'm sitting while he's praying. I'm like, why is he praying for me? Like, I don't understand what you're going through in your head, but me, I'm perfectly fine. I don't feel any kind of way. Like, so I'm just faking the prayer the whole entire time. And it made me, like, feel like my mom didn't care. Like, it made me feel like that, because it was like, why? Instead of, like, talking to me one-on-one, instead of talking to me, you go to someone else. Like, and I hate when people do that. Like, I hate being talked about from somebody that I care about, and it just hurt me so much. And I never told her that it hurt me, and I never told her that I knew, because I knew it would hurt her, and I was always the kind of person where I would care about other people's feelings over mine. And it just hurt a lot, because I just didn't know, like, how to express how I was feeling. And like, at that time, after that, I just didn't know how to handle my mom anymore, because it was like, anything I told her, I would be liable to not feel like I would trust her. And like, I know she meant well by it, but it was like, at the time, like, I was just hurt. I was so hurt that she would go to the pastor, and then she would go to like other male figures in my life that, like, I cared about, that were kind of gay. And I guess she would have them like talk to me, which I respect my mom for doing stuff like that, because I didn't have anyone to teach me this lifestyle. Like, I learned everything on my own. I learned the do's and the do not. He would go to people and help, like, tell them to, like, talk to me, make sure I'm okay, stuff like that. And it just would hurt me, because it was like, me and my mom were really, really close, and I would just expect her to be there for me because she was always there for me my whole entire life. And for you to go to somebody else instead of you being there for me, like, and it wasn't like she wasn't there for me, but she wasn't there for me how I needed her to be. And it hurt, it just really, really hurt, like, so much. Because, like I said, me and my mom were inseparable. We were the same person. Like, she would know how I feel. Like, I would be there for her because I know how she feels. Like, she hates being alone. I hate being alone. Like, so I just felt alone in the whole thing. And I just felt like I was just going through this by myself. So, like, I would just always lash out at her. And I would just be all over the place because, like, my emotions were just everywhere. And then the people that she would have talked to me, the gay guys that were, like, kind of in my role, like, in my life to, like, guide me, most of them tried to take advantage of me in ways that I don't want to talk about, but they try to take advantage of me. So, and she doesn't know, or she knows now because she's gonna watch this video. But they tried to take advantage of me, and like, I'm smart. Like, I'm not gonna let that happen. So I didn't let that happen, and I never told her because I knew it would make her feel worse. And this story is not nowhere near to bash my mom because my mom is very, very loving and she's a true person. She just didn't know how to handle me, and that's literally what it was. So me coming out was hard for me because I just went through, like, a lot of emotional, I hate crying. I just went through a lot of emotional, like, ups and downs in my life. And it was just like me battling with myself to try to be straight, to try to please everybody else. And I didn't please myself. Like, it was just like me just going through life, trying to make sure that, like, my mom was okay with the things that I was doing. And it was just like me pleasing everybody else except for myself and pretending to be happy my whole entire life. Like, people would never know what I was going through. I would never tell them how I was hurt. Like, I would just hide it. And that's when I started getting into dance, and that's another story. But dance basically saved my life because I wanted to commit suicide so many times, and I tried so many times. Like, I've done a lot of stuff to myself because I just didn't feel like I was wanted here. Like, and I remember some things that I told my mom that really probably hurt her, and, like, we went through a lot because I would, like I said, I would lash at her because I felt rejected, and I felt like I couldn't trust her at that time. I remember telling her one time when I got really, really mad, I was like, I never asked to be here. You brought me here. So for you to not, like, get it, like, I just kept telling her I never asked to be here. You created me. Like, if you didn't want me, you should have had an abortion. And I know that hurt my mom because it hurt me saying it. And I just want to say I'm sorry for saying that because I know she's going to watch this. But that's how I felt at the time. And, like, I remember telling my mom I hate her, which hurt me too. But it was just, like, in the moment. And I'm not a confrontational person. Like, I don't like arguments. I don't like fussing and fighting. Like, I know she meant good and well for doing it, but it didn't come off that way to me because I just wanted her to be there. I just wanted her to take me through every step and just be there for me. And now we have a strong bond, and our relationship has gotten way better. Like, now I can talk to, I could have always talked to my mom about everything, but, like, back then I just didn't trust her with certain information, so I wouldn't tell her, and it would just be me holding it in the whole time. But, like, now me and my mom are, like, back to how we were before I came out, and I tell her everything. I feel like I said, my mom is a great parent. She had to take care of 5 kids alone, so I just felt like I didn't get the attention that I needed, which I know I require a lot of attention because that's who I am, and I understand why she couldn't give me the attention that I needed because it was 5 of us, and she had to give the same amount of attention to each of us and work a full-time job. And I understand that's draining because I work a full-time job, go to school, I dance, like, I do a lot of stuff, and it's hard to give, that's why I don't date, because it's hard to give a nigga attention. Let me not say a nigga. It's hard to give a guy attention, and so I understand now, but at that time it was just like, I need you here. I need you, I need you, I need you, I need you. And I just couldn't do it without my mom. And I felt like I was doing it without my mom. And now, like I said, our relationship is fine. This story, like I said, is no means to hurt or harm anybody and or to bash anybody, but this is just what happened in my situation and how I felt in my situation. And this is just my part of my story because there's always going to be another part. And like I said, I love my mom to death, and I know for a fact that she is a very inspiring, beautiful human being. She helps anybody that needs help, and this is not to bash her. It's just to, I guess, open the conversation, or if there's mothers out there that are going through the same situation, I just want you to know, don't allow someone else to try to help your child. You try to do it. I know it might be hard for you, especially like with me and my mom being very religious and not like believing in stuff like that, like believing in homosexuality and or knowing that it's a sin and knowing it's an abomination, quote unquote, and then having a child that you birth be that way. I would say to you as a parent, be by their side, like ask them if they're okay, because that can really like make a difference, knowing that like someone that you really, really care about doesn't care. Even if you do care about it and you feel some type of way, like express to them. I'm the kind of person, I don't like people to talk about the issues that I'm having with someone else, especially if I trusted you to tell you my issues in the first place. Like, if I tell you who I am and how I feel, I don't expect you to tell Bob, Lisa, Tommy, Tony, because I wouldn't do that to you. Like, I don't do that. Like, and one thing in the Bible that I really went by, like one quote, and it's the golden rule of the Bible, and if you're religious, you will know, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And I just felt like if I wouldn't do it to somebody else, I didn't expect them to do it to me. Being a parent, just accept your child, because, and this might sound harsh, but remember that you are the reason that they're here. Like, you took it upon yourself to have sex, to bear a child. Don't put them through any more than what they already have to deal with in the real world. Like, and luckily I was a strong human being, because like I said, I've countless of times thought of ending my life because of feeling rejected, feeling unwanted, like, and it was like all mental things. Like, no one told me these things. I just felt it inside because of what would happen. Like it was just my mindset. Like, I just didn't want to be here anymore. God doesn't like me. My mom doesn't know how to handle me. Like, two people that created me. Like, you know what I mean? Two of the most important people in my life, God and my mom. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't have a dad, so it was just two people. So I don't know. But thank you guys for watching this, and I'm sorry I got like really emotional, but thank you guys for watching this video. And again, I post every Monday and Thursday. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Bye.